Sometimes the biggest reason we are exhausted is not life itself. It's the fact that we are always available for everyone. Daniel was known by one simple sentence everyone repeated without thinking. Call him, he'll help. He was the one who answered messages at midnight, the one who said yes even when his heart whispered no, the one who postponed his own dreams to fix other people's emergencies. At work, colleagues relied on him for tasks that were never his responsibility. In his family, he was the solution to every problem. Among friends, he was always present, always listening, always giving. And yet, when Daniel came home in the evening, silence greeted him. No energy, no motivation, no time for himself. One night, as he sat alone in his small apartment, phone in hand, another message arrived. Can you help me real quick? Daniel stared at the screen. For the first time, he didn't feel kindness. He felt tired, deeply tired. Not tired of helping people, but tired of disappearing in the process. That night, a quiet but powerful question crossed his mind. When was the last time I was available for myself? He didn't reply immediately. He placed the phone face down on the table. It felt uncomfortable, almost wrong. But deep inside, something new was awakening. For the first time in years, Daniel understood a truth that would change everything. Being available for everyone can slowly make you unavailable for your own life. And this realization was only the beginning. The next morning, Daniel woke up with a strange feeling. Nothing around him had changed, but something inside him had. As he prepared his coffee, his phone buzzed again. A coworker asking for help. Nothing urgent, nothing new. Daniel looked at the message and felt the familiar pressure rise in his chest, the reflex to reply immediately, the fear of disappointing someone. His fingers hovered over the screen. Then he remembered the question from the night before. When was the last time I was available for myself? He took a deep breath. For the first time, Daniel didn't reply right away. Minutes passed, then an hour, and with every minute of silence, guilt grew louder. He told himself stories. They'll think I'm selfish. They'll stop respecting me. I'm being a bad person. But something surprising happened. The world didn't collapse. No one got angry. No disaster occurred. Later that day, Daniel finally replied, calmly and respectfully, I can't help today. I need to focus on my own work. His heart was racing as he pressed send. The response came shortly after. Oh, okay, no problem. No drama, no rejection. Daniel leaned back in his chair, confused. All this time, he had believed that saying no would destroy relationships. But now he was discovering a new truth. The guilt wasn't coming from others, it was coming from habits he had built for years. That evening, Daniel did something radical. He went for a walk alone. No phone in his hand, no one to rescue, no one to please. Just him and silence. And for the first time in a long time, that silence felt peaceful. He realized something important. Setting boundaries doesn't make you cold. It teaches people how to respect your time, your energy, and your life. But Daniel didn't know yet. The hardest part wasn't saying no once, it was staying consistent when people started noticing the change. And that challenge was waiting for him next. Change never stays invisible for long. After a few days, people around Daniel began to notice something different. He didn't answer messages instantly anymore. He didn't jump into every problem. He wasn't always available. At first, the reactions were subtle. A coworker joked, "Wow, you're hard to reach these days." A friend said, "You've changed. You're not like before." Daniel smiled politely, but inside, doubt started creeping in. Am I becoming selfish? Am I losing people? One evening, his phone rang. It was his closest friend, someone who had relied on him for years. "You're distant lately," the friend said. "You used to always be there." Daniel felt the old reflex pulling him back, the urge to explain, to justify himself, to apologize for taking care of his own life. But this time, he paused. "I'm still here," Daniel replied calmly. "I just can't be everywhere anymore." There was silence on the other end. Then his friend said something unexpected. "I guess I never realized how much I depended on you." That moment hit Daniel deeply. He understood a powerful truth. When you stop being constantly available, you don't lose real relationships, you reveal them. Some people respected his boundaries, others felt uncomfortable. And that discomfort wasn't a sign he was doing something wrong, it was a sign that the old version of him was disappearing. That night, Daniel wrote something in a notebook. "I am allowed to have limits. I am allowed to rest. I am allowed to choose myself without guilt." As he closed the notebook, he felt stronger. Not louder, not aggressive, just grounded. But Daniel was about to learn another lesson, one that would test his courage even more. Because the moment you protect your time, life gives you a chance to use it wisely. And that chance was coming next. Daniel used to explain everything. Every no came with a long justification. Every boundary needed an excuse. He believed that if people understood his reasons, they would accept his limits. But something inside him began to change. One afternoon, his phone rang again. A familiar request. Same urgency, same expectations. This time, Daniel answered calmly, "I won't be available today." Silence. Then came the question he feared most. Why? His chest tightened. The old version of him was ready to defend himself. But Daniel chose a different path. "I don't need a reason," he said gently. "I just won't be available." The conversation ended quickly. No argument, no explanation, no guilt. Daniel realized something powerful in that moment. You don't owe everyone access to your time, and you don't owe everyone an explanation for protecting it. That evening, he noticed something surprising. The more he stopped explaining, the more confident he felt. Because confidence doesn't come from convincing others, it comes from being at peace with your own decisions. Daniel spent that night doing something he had postponed for years. He opened an old notebook. Inside were ideas, goals, dreams he had written long ago and forgotten. Not because they didn't matter, but because he was too busy being available. As he read those pages, he understood. Every yes to others had been a no to himself. And now, for the first time, he was finally changing the balance. But soon, Daniel would face the most uncomfortable moment of all. The moment when someone tests your boundaries on purpose. Soon, the test came. A message arrived late at night. Not urgent, just familiar. Daniel read it and felt the pressure return. This time, he didn't hesitate. He replied simply, "I'm not available." No explanation, no apology. Minutes passed. Then another message appeared. "You've really changed." Daniel smiled softly. Yes, he had. And for the first time, that change didn't scare him. Because he finally understood one essential truth. People get used to your availability, but they learn to respect your boundaries. Daniel put his phone down, and instead of guilt, he felt relief. That evening, Daniel noticed something new. He was calm. No rush, no pressure, no need to respond to everything. For the first time, his time felt like it belonged to him. He realized something simple but powerful. Being less available doesn't make you distant. It makes you present where it truly matters. Daniel turned his phone off, and in that silence, he found peace. Daniel didn't become confident overnight. Even after setting boundaries, doubt still visited him. Some mornings he woke up wondering if he was doing the right thing, if he was becoming too distant, if people would slowly walk away. One afternoon, he noticed something important. The people who truly cared about him stayed. They adapted. They respected his time. But others disappeared quietly. At first, this hurt. Then Daniel understood a hard but liberating truth. Some people don't miss you. They miss what you used to give. And that realization changed everything. By being less available, Daniel was no longer running from himself. He had time to think, time to breathe, time to reconnect with what truly mattered. He started waking up earlier, reading again, planning his future instead of reacting to everyone else's. For the first time, his days felt intentional. Not perfect, not easy, but meaningful. Daniel finally understood something most people learn too late. Choosing yourself is uncomfortable at first because you've spent years choosing everyone else. And with every boundary he respected, he was slowly becoming someone stronger, someone free. With fewer interruptions, Daniel began to notice something surprising. Time didn't disappear, it revealed. Moments he used to rush through now felt slower. Mornings were calmer, evenings felt lighter. He realized that being constantly available had kept him busy, but not fulfilled. Now, with space in his life, important questions surfaced. What did he truly want? What kind of life was he building? Who was he becoming when no one needed anything from him? At first, these questions felt uncomfortable. Silence can be confronting. But Daniel stayed with it. He started doing things that didn't impress anyone else, things with no applause, no validation, and slowly he understood a deep truth. When you stop giving your time to everything, you finally have time for what matters. Not everyone noticed his growth, but Daniel did, and that was enough. Yet one final lesson still awaited him, the one that would completely free him from guilt. One quiet evening, Daniel felt it again. Guilt. Not because he had done something wrong, but because he had done something different. He realized something important. Guilt often appears when you break old patterns, not when you make bad choices. For years, Daniel had been rewarded for being available, praised for saying yes, valued for sacrificing himself. So when he stopped, his mind reacted. But this time, instead of fighting the guilt, he observed it. And he discovered a powerful truth. Guilt is not a warning, it's a sign of growth. Daniel learned to let the feeling pass without obeying it. He didn't rush to fix it, he didn't explain himself, he stayed grounded. And with every moment he chose peace over pressure, guilt lost its power. Daniel finally understood something simple. People didn't decide his limits, he did. Every time he answered immediately, every time he dropped his priorities, he was teaching others that his time was always available. Now, things were different. When Daniel respected his own boundaries, others adjusted. Not everyone liked it, but everyone understood it. He noticed a powerful shift. Conversations became clearer. Requests became more respectful. Silence became normal. And Daniel realized this essential truth. The way people treat you is often a reflection of what you tolerate. That night, he wrote one sentence and underlined it twice. I am responsible for protecting my time. From that moment on, Daniel stopped waiting for permission. He had already given it to himself. As Daniel reduced his availability, something unexpected happened. Life became quieter. Fewer notifications, fewer urgent demands, fewer emotional drains. And in that quiet, clarity appeared. Daniel could think again, plan again, dream again. He noticed how much energy he had been giving away without realizing it. Now, with fewer interruptions, his focus improved, his confidence grew, his stress faded. He understood a powerful truth. Peace is not found in doing more. It is found in protecting what drains you. Daniel no longer feared silence. He welcomed it, because in that silence, he finally heard himself. One day, Daniel made a quiet but powerful realization. Not everyone needed access to him. Some people only showed up when they needed something. Some conversations led nowhere. Some demands added nothing to his life. And that was okay. Daniel learned that availability is not kindness when it destroys you. It becomes self-neglect. So he chose carefully. Who deserved his energy? Who respected his time? Who gave as much as they took? This didn't make him cold. It made him honest. And with honesty came freedom. Because Daniel finally understood. Your time is valuable precisely because it is limited. Daniel noticed something surprising. Freedom didn't feel loud. It didn't come with applause. It arrived quietly. No more rushing, no more constant explanations, no more pressure to be everything for everyone. His days felt lighter, his mind clearer. And he understood this simple truth. When you stop being available to everything, you become available to yourself. For the first time, that felt enough. Daniel no longer measured his worth by how useful he was to others. He measured it by how aligned he felt with his own life. He chose his time on purpose. He answered when he wanted to. He rested without guilt. People adjusted. Some stayed, some left. And that was okay, because Daniel had learned something essential. Being less available didn't make his world smaller. It made it clearer. He wasn't hiding anymore. He was finally living. And one last lesson remained, the one that would tie everything together. Daniel looked back and barely recognized the man he used to be. Not because he had become cold, but because he had become conscious. He no longer lived in reaction to others. He lived with intention. Saying no longer felt like rejection. It felt like respect for his time, his energy, his life. Daniel understood something simple yet powerful. You were never meant to be available for everyone. You were meant to be available for what truly matters. And maybe, as you listen to this story, you are realizing something too. Every time you protect your time, you protect your future. Every time you choose yourself, you don't lose others, you find yourself. So ask yourself, gently but honestly, what would change in your life if you stopped being available for everything and started being available for you?